Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Voice of Solutions. My name is Aviwa Mkhwanazi, and that part is not too important today. What is important today is that I'm a South African, and I'm an angry South African, very angry. Today I want to address a few issues that have been going on, and we have a burning issue in South Africa. I'll just take a step back to just capture and give a background to what happened. So on the 6th of July, 2025, we had Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. He had a press briefing, and in that he exposed people of importance that have been allegedly implicated to criminal activities that are colluding with criminal syndicates that are destroying the country, destroying South Africa. In him exposing that, he's exposed that the police minister, Mchunu, is also implicated by that. Now, we've been waiting for a week for the president to take a decision on what's going to happen with the people implicated, including Police Minister Mchunu. Now, after a week, President of South Africa, of the Republic of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, took a stand to say we have a family meeting, as he always say, so he can announce or discuss his decision that they are taking. And no one is happy with the posture, with the tone, with everything that basically he came for. On the 13th of July, on a Sunday, he took a stand to say to South Africans, he is putting Minister Mchunu on a special leave. What does that mean? What it means is that he's going to sit at home while he's implicated in criminal activities, allegedly implicated in criminal activities. He's going to sit at home, continue to be paid, not working for 3 to 6 months. After that, which history tells us that nothing gets done. Just to give a background, there was a commission of inquiry that was done, led by Chief Justice Sondo, and this arguably cost South Africans close to 1 billion, if that number is correct. I'm not of the accuracy of the numbers today. I'm a very angry South African. That's what I came here for. One can justify, but what happened is that after that, nothing happened. Not even a single person was arrested as a result of that 1 billion being spent for absolutely zero. Today, he's saying again, he's establishing another commission of inquiry to look into the issue that I've just stated. Now, South Africans are angry, very angry, but we're now in a position, desperate position, where there's nothing we can do. Nothing we can do, because the people we voted for are now seeing themselves as mini gods, that everything they say goes, including the president himself. I will start taking a step back in terms of what does our constitution say. If you say I'm following the constitution, I'm doing that, the preamble that is there in the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa 1996 starts by we the people of South Africa. We the people of South Africa recognize the injustices of our past, honor those who suffered for justice and freedom in our land, respect those who have worked to build and develop our country, and believe that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, united in our diversity. That is our constitution. Starts by that, stands by that, and it talks to the injustices of apartheid that was there in South Africa. Some of you will know, some of you won't know, but most of the people I'm talking to, mostly addressing, will know. That is a racial segregation that happened in South Africa. It's history. We still have such divisions today. We still have racist white people. We still have lazy black people now. I must state it. Very lazy black people that believes that everything should be handed to them. They don't have to work hard. Somebody owes them something and everything. We do have those problems. That's not what I'm going to talk about. As a result of that, we do have policies that are seeking to reverse that. One of them being Black economic empowerment, that one day we'll talk about. And I'll raise my views, or I'll have someone to raise our views in relation to what do we think of BEE. We do have people who've used their skin to enrich themselves, continue to benefit, And some of this mess that we're in is as a result of that. We are in a state of mess in South Africa. If it was me, I would have if the president himself hated corruption, hated crime, he would have done something about it, and something harsh. He would declare the country to a state of disaster for corruption and all these crimes. People are dying in South Africa every day. He knows that, but he's safe. Why? Because he's using tax people's money to be safe. Yes, he's a millionaire. Yes, he's a billionaire. How he got there, I don't know. And I'm not here to discuss that. What I'm here to discuss that is untouchable. Whatever he says goes. He's a weak president, very weak, spineless, unable to take decisions. Part of that, I believe, and I may be wrong, because I don't have evidence. That's the only thing that makes it wrong, right? If you don't have evidence, it may be that these people, it's difficult for him to just drop this minister because this minister knows what we don't know, right? Now, it is clear that the African National Congress, which is the ANC, that is currently leading South Africa, has been leading South Africa for 30 years. After apartheid, there was a negotiation, CODESA, and then from there on, the first black president came, Nelson Mandela. After him, former President Thabo Mbeki came. After him, former President Jacob Zuma came. Now it's President Cyril Ramaphosa. The country is going down, definitely going down, definitely going down. Not on the basis that is being led by black people. And if you think of that, you yourself are a racist, nonsensical racist. Not because it's being led by black people, but mostly it's being led by people who have no love for human beings, who have no heart for human beings. And that shows if Ramaphosa's kids were at risk today, if Ramaphosa was at risk today, Senzo Mchunu would be sitting at home and being paid for nothing. If he knew that he's not protected, but all of them, they're beneficiaries of this money of taxpayers. So there's no one who's interested in solving the problem, regardless of the political party losing votes and trying to collude with DA, and DA being the Democratic Alliance and all other small parties that are part of what they call Government of National Unity. Even with that, they are all playing tricks. The focus and strategies are more on political strategies than how do we solve issues that are facing the country. Same applies to ANC and same applies for DA. I'm here. I didn't even vote in 2024. I'm in no vote crew because I lost hope in the political system and the politicians. I don't believe DA can lead South Africa. I don't believe EFF can lead South Africa. I don't believe ANC can lead South Africa. None of the political parties that I believe that their leaders are having South Africans at heart. I don't believe these leaders. So the biggest problem that we have in South Africa right now is the leadership problem. Problem number one is the leadership problem, which results to all these issues that we see. We can't be hacking at the leaves. We need to focus on the main problem. Main problem is leadership. Leadership can solve these problems that we have in South Africa. These are racial issues. These are corruption, crime, corruption, unemployment. All of these are linked to weak leadership or leadership with no interest of solving issues but enriching themselves. The issue we're at right now is that Ramaphosa can say whatever he says. No one does anything. There was, on X, Twitter, which we now know as X, obviously, there was this thing of national shutdown today or tomorrow, national shutdown. People will talk about that and they'll move to something else. And that's what Ramaphosa knows. Why? Because he's untouchable. Regardless of how many people are unhappy, he hasn't said anything about, okay, I've said this, I can realize and acknowledge that people are not happy. What needs to be done? No, he's not doing that. He's not doing that, keeping quiet, so hoping that this thing, wishing it away, basically, that people will eventually move to something else, and he's not going to be accountable. The 3 months and 6 months will come, nothing will happen to this guy. So the problem I have, this is the problem I have, and what I wanted to discuss a proposed solution. Excuse me. The problem I have is that we are going for a national dialogue. They've started the process of a national dialogue. Many leaders have recognized and acknowledged that the country is going down. We're failing. ANC has acknowledged they are failing. And as a result of that, they say, let's talk. There are a lot of issues in the country. People are frustrated. let's have a national dialogue, talk to what is it that people want to see, what is the South Africa they want. And one of the people who's prominent in this idea of dialogue is former President Thabo Mbeki, and his foundation his foundation has been involved. He just, I think a week ago or 2 weeks ago, written a letter to DA, a Democratic Alliance, is another party, the second biggest political party in South Africa, when they say they're pulling out of the national dialogue because their minister was apparently taken off because he traveled without the approval of the president. I mean, that is the political squabbles or political differences that they have. But they then said they are pulling out of the national dialogue. They don't want to take part in it. Former President Thabo Mbeki writes a letter to DA to say this is not an ANC thing. This is not a Ramaphosa thing. This is for South Africans. And because this is for South Africans, you are doing injustice to the country and yourselves by not participating in that. And he says, then he explains, okay, these organizations are the ones who are driving this, who wrote this, including the Thabo Mbeki Foundation. Now, I don't have a problem with that. I 100% agree and support the national dialogue. We need to talk. We need to talk as South Africans. The country is going down and we need to talk. Now, who needs to talk? This is where now I differ with the approach that is happening. I differ with the approach that they are taking. Again, just 3 days ago, President Cyril Ramaphosa was starting to meet with the eminent persons. Who are these eminent persons? And this is how this thing is going to go on the 15th of August. I think that's where it's going to be kickstarted. He's going to be meeting the eminent persons. Eminent persons being the business leaders, the traditional leaders, the religious leaders, basically the leaders. What did I say? I said we have leadership problem in South Africa. By saying now you're going back to these leaders, these are problems. The problem we have is what you say are eminent people or eminent persons that you are going to. That is our problem. And you are again taking the stance of channeling the country through that. I mean, there is maybe before you think maybe I don't understand or I didn't hear or didn't read how the things are going to go about. It's going to go, these eminent persons, these leaders is going to go down to district, consultations are going to happen and all that. The problem is this thing is being driven through, even while the people that are being met first are eminent persons. And that means people will negotiate to what benefits them as these leaders. How they're going to drive the process is how it benefits them. So there's absolutely no reason to believe that this is going to solve problems. Today, there are technological solutions that can solve the problems we're facing. And I'm going to propose that. If we say we, the people of South Africa, we should be hearing the voices of the people of South Africa, not true leaders. Leadership has failed us. And we are repeating many times, leadership has failed us. Our problem is leadership. So if we are now saying leadership has failed us, what should be done? In South Africa, I'll make few examples. In South Africa, ANC decided, or President Ramaphosa decided when it was COVID, it made sense. After then, never made sense to me. Giving people like 350 for nothing, for absolutely nothing, saying there are no jobs. I mean, why don't you then take a person, raid them one day, have a lot of security guards in Johannesburg, and then let them raid the 350? Do something and then get 350. He's sending a signal or giving an impression that somebody can get something for doing nothing, and you just get 350 rands. So these people are people on the ground, poor people, but they were able to apply for this 350. There have been cases, if you want to vote, these people, they can reach the people and people can vote and all these things. Today, I'm saying that technological solutions, these people can write a one-liner of what do they want to see in South Africa. What South Africa do they want to see? Now, there are technological solutions that you can open for everyone to submit directly with no leader, corrupt leaders, with no religious leader, no traditional leader, with no business leader. You can write and submit that this is the South Africa I want to do. Based on that, we have technological solutions like AI that can go through, analyze the data, come up with summarized versions of what is it that South Africans want. Based on that, AI can even propose policies, economic policies, different type of policies that we need to effect change in South Africa. Based on that, then we can analyze, then we can talk about something that was not manipulated, something that true views that are coming from people. Now, ANC is in the process to cleanse themselves, and they think this is an opportunity to cleanse themselves. And that's all. If this is not there for the ANC, as former President Thabo Mbeki said with huge respect, and I know he's advocating for ANC needs to cleanse itself. ANC needs to cleanse itself. We are not here for ANC. Politicians have failed us. They've failed the country. The country is going down. They don't care about the people of South Africa. Not the ANC, not the DA, not anyone else, not Julius, not anyone else. The guys care about themselves, including the Shivambu starting the. So you shouldn't be starting a political party or attempting to start a political party while you can say you're all doing it for yourself. It's a career to you, and I understand you're doing it for your stomach. But the problem is that the people of South Africa are hungry, unemployed, in danger of dying from crime. All these things are happening, and we're at a point where these guys are untouchable. And I'm proposing that technological solution for the national dialogue. If we're not ready for national dialogue, let's not rush. They were proposing that we're not ready for the elections in 2024. We went through, and people believe that we were not ready. If we are not ready, technologically ready for the dialogue, why are we having a dialogue? If it's not because next year there are municipal elections that ANC is worried about, why are we now going for, why are we rushing? If we're not technologically ready, and we need to think it through, all I'm proposing is that as a solution, let's hear the voices of South Africans. Let's hear what South Africans have to say. Let's not consult eminent persons here and failed leaders. We have a leadership problem in South Africa, and we cannot outsource our lives to these same people that we say have failed us. It does not make sense. I just had to address that, and thank you very much. For anything else, engage and then propose your solutions. I know a lot of people are saying the same thing. A lot of people are frustrated. Have your 2 cents, have your say. I've had my say. I'm a very angry South African. Thank you very much for spending your time to watch this. Thank you.